So, a question that often comes up with my students on the law of attraction is having to do with the types of thoughts that can come up when you think you're trying to manifest something. You know, kind of the name of the game is to shape and mold your thoughts into a certain type of pattern or a belief system that the universe will match. And that's true. But then people make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, let's say I'm shifting my belief away from lack, right? Say you're trying to manifest wealth. And these old thoughts keep coming up from time to time about like fear of loss. Like, oh, what if I don't get that first big check? Or what if I do and then another one doesn't show up? These kind of thoughts, these fear-based kind of thoughts, they just kind of keep percolating up to the surface from your subconscious to the surface, right? And the student, they'll like panic thinking, oh, I'm not allowed to think that thought, right? I'm trying to get it to where my thought stream is only thoughts about abundance, right? I'm trying to get away from belief in lack. And I keep having these thoughts come up. And then they ask me, Kurt, does that mean that I'm failing because these old thoughts keep coming up, even though I'm consciously trying to change my beliefs about that? What do I do about this? Is this going to ruin it for me, right? Because they're trying to shift their belief into a belief system about abundance. And it's like the subconscious mind, it retains these old beliefs, right? And every once in a while, it's kind of like one of them like knocks loose and it floats up to the surface and then it enters your mind. It's some fear about lack or loss or something like that. And they think that just because I had that thought, that must mean that I'm endangering my ability to manifest abundance because those thoughts are still coming up. And everybody knows that the thoughts that I send out to the universe are creating my reality. And so they kind of panic. So you kind of understand what I'm saying. You're in this kind of like gray zone or this gray area where you're switching your beliefs, you're working on your beliefs about lack. And again, here comes this old thought pattern. And that's just not true. That doesn't really affect things. So that's good news. You'll be relieved to know that that doesn't affect things. What does affect things is what thoughts you believe. So it's your belief that actually shapes manifestation. Okay, so it doesn't matter if these old thought patterns are coming up. And the thing about your subconscious beliefs are these could be things that have been there since you were tiny, like 4 years old or something, right? So they're going to be deeply ingrained in your subconscious. And as you are increasing your consciousness, which is the actual you, right? It's the actual soul, the actual self, the conscious being who exists outside of the mind. As you're increasing that consciousness, that light expands and it starts to illuminate your subconscious. And it's like this whirlwind energy that kind of like kicks things loose. And so you'll have some of those fears, like I illustrated earlier, kick loose and float up to the surface where you can see them from time to time. And then it causes people to panic. But that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just an old thought pattern that came loose from your subconscious that's kind of floating up to the surface as you're increasing yourself consciously. And you don't need to worry about it. You don't even need to do anything about it, honestly. You see that thought appear in your thought stream and you just laugh at it. Like, I don't even believe that anymore. Shut up, Mr. Ego. You're stupid. You can just say things like that to your ego, to your subconscious mind when it kicks up those old belief systems. Like, I don't even believe that. And that's the thing, is you don't have to believe your own thoughts. That really never occurs to most people. Listen to how you should type that down in the comments section as an affirmation, actually. I don't have to believe my own thoughts. That's a powerful statement. Think about that for a second. This is like the number one thing holding people back from manifesting anything they want. It's not that you're having thoughts. that causes manifestation. It's what you believe about your thoughts. What thoughts do you believe? And you don't have to believe your own thoughts. Thoughts are not you. It doesn't matter if they're there still bubbling to the surface. You're a three-part triune being, body, mind, soul, but the soul is what you are. The mind is what you have. So it's like this spacesuit that we wear. And whenever some of that energy kicks loose and floats up, and you see one of those limiting self-beliefs float by you, and there's even an emotional response, you just laugh at it. Like, I don't even believe you anymore. Shut up, get out of here. I don't even buy into that anymore. So you don't have to believe your own thoughts, guys. It's what you believe. Okay, remember, and here's an even better affirmation that you could type down in the comments. What you believe is what you receive, or what I believe is what I receive. Type that in the comments right now. Type that as an affirmation right now. And remember that. What I believe is what I receive. It's not that you're having these thoughts. It's what thoughts am I giving any credence to? Am I believing these thoughts? And you supplant the old thoughts with new ones. Every time you have one of those old beliefs, you say, I don't even believe that anymore. I know I'm abundant. And even if there's not any money in your bank account, even if you've only got, like a single dollar bill in your wallet, if that's all you got, then that's more than zero. Or you could even say to yourself, it's coming, it's on the way. I know it is. And here's the thing, guys, you can believe in the creative power of the universe. I can tell you from personal experience, it's going to happen. Okay, if you can't believe it fully yourself, put your faith in me, even if you have the faith of a mustard seed. Okay, it'll happen. It's coming. Trust me on this. If you really believe that it's coming, it will. It will. Just keep telling yourself, I'm just not at that place right now. I'm getting to that point. It's going to happen soon. And you really just keep telling yourself that every single day. And every time there's a belief that comes up and goes, are you really believing this crap? You're telling yourself this stuff every day. And I don't even know if this is really going to work. Like, no, I don't have to listen to you. I don't believe you anymore. That's another limiting belief, that this whole law of attraction thing doesn't work either, or that the abundance isn't waiting for you in the future, or that amazing lover that you've always wanted isn't waiting for you in the future, or this amazing career that you've always been waiting for isn't waiting for you in the future. You don't have to believe that limiting self-talk, that even these manifestation exercises are useless. Don't listen to that, guys. That's just old cultural conditioning that we were all spoon-fed by the system. And none of that shit's true. You're an eternal being of light. That's the truth of you. Yes, these things are real, and we're taught in our daily lives that there's no such thing as ghosts, and that there's no law of attraction, and that you're not a soul who exists here in this body incarnate, and that we don't continue to live on after death, and just all that stuff. That's all fairy tales and fantasies, and there's no spiritual hierarchy. And science is proving that none of those things are true, and that's not even true. Actually, it's turning out science is starting to realize that these things are true. I mean, you've got quantum entanglement that they just proved, and the only thing that a scientist can think to say about quantum entanglement is, I guess it just goes to show that this universe is a big video game simulation. That's really what they said about quantum entanglement, guys. So even scientists are having to put their fucking foot in their mouth. Of course these things are real. It's ridiculous to say that you're a limited physical being and that's all. And you know that. So guys, don't listen to those thoughts anymore, and keep believing that these things are going to happen for you, and they fucking will. It really is that simple. It really is that simple, guys. So there's your pep talk for the day.